Hoş geldiniz arkadaşlar. Welcome everyone. Dersimiz başlıyor. Herkese iyi akşamlar. And what is the plan today? Bugün plan nedir? Bugün ne yapacağız? Bugün çok farklı bir konu işleyeceğiz. Today we will have a very different subject. It is actually a part of the advanced tenses or compound tenses. But for some reason in grammar books, this is not completely explained. Even in Turkish books for Turkish speakers, this part of the grammar is always, it doesn't get the attention, it doesn't get the love it deserves. There's not that many, detailed resource for it. And I will do my best to explain the dynamics of this grammar. It is not practical to include everything in one lesson, so I will not be talking about every form. This is not going to be possible to do in one lesson. I will only be going to talking about the most common forms. And for other forms, you can use the same logic or same dynamics to other situations. So I will show you a lead, I will give you some ideas, and the rest is up to you. Okay, let's have an understanding, let's have a deal on this first, because I don't want to mislead you into thinking that's the only case. There are other situations, there are other forms. So just giving you a disclaimer. Okay? So başlayalım. Hemen konumuza giriş yapalım. I can't stress this enough because this is not olmak verb in basic tenses. This is olmak verb with basic tenses. There's a difference. And the difference is olmak in basic tenses is basically how you conjugate olmak in basic tenses, like oldum, olmuşum, olurum, oluyorum, olacağım. Just an example sentence. Ben öğretmen oldum. I became a doctor. Wait, what? A teacher. I became a teacher. Ben öğretmen oldum. So, olmak in the past tense. But the other one, what we are going to study today, is mostly with verbs, and then m'iş, the, ıyor, acak, and also olmak. You can see a chain of combinations. Like an example here. Çalışmak, ders çalışmak is to study. But first I use ıyor, the same continuous tense suffix, and then I combine it with ol with the muş. So ders çalışıyor, olmuş, olacağım. Or wait, actually, let's not make this more advanced. Let's keep it simple. Ders çalışıyor, olacağım. That fits the translation better. Ders çalışıyor, uyor on the verb. Olacağım, there's still acak on olmak. So the left part of this conjugation is for the main verb, main action. The second part is about the time, like when will I be studying? I will be studying in the future. I will have been studying. Okay, so in English there are some tenses where this is called future continuous, or the other combinations like future perfect tense, when something will be completed. This will make more sense when we see our example. First, let's have this table. You can see on the columns here we have the m'iş, aorist, continuous future. These go on the main ones, and then these ones here on the lines, they are for olmak. So first you can put a d suffix on the verb, and then you can put a d again on olmak. Or a better example here, you can put iyor on the verb, and then you can put acak on olmak. But I will do you a favor, or I have good news for you, because it's not like a favor, it's something that is like a fact, or it is what it is. You don't really need to memorize this part. This is not used at all. Just forget about this. I will be eliminating the uncommon ones or the not used ones. Okay? And mIş part, all of it is okay. You need, actually mIş is our like the popular kid here. It is used every time. It has all the conjugations. But with aorist, you don't really need gelir oldum, gelir olmuşum. You don't really need the first 4 ones. You can forget about these. Or you may need this one as well. Wait, I made a mistake. I was going with this. You can forget the last 4 and only stick with the first. Okay, I think you are counting the tenses, the conjugations. Keep counting, because I will be deleting more, or I will be excluding more. For example, continuous. So let's see what else we don't need. Actually, thinking about it, we need the last one here. The other ones, geliyor oluyorum, geliyor olurum. Maybe you may need this. Let me check something. So the first 2 are really not needed. This one, this 2. And geliyor olurum, yes, that one is used. I can think of some situations where this is used. Geliyor oluyorum, nope, not really needed. And geliyor olacağım, okay? And finally, the last one with the future. Gelecek oldum, yes, that is used. And the middle 3 are not needed. So that's it. We need this. So I will clean this up. I know it looks kinda messy. So I will change their colors. I will hide them. So like this. And then like this. And then the other ones. These ones. Oh wait, we don't need to remove it. Okay, so this is our final table. We will only be talking about these. Okay, only these ones are commonly used. The other combinations, the other ones are not really worth learning. Especially the d forms are not even used. I can't think of a situation where geldi oldum is ever useful to know. It's not, it doesn't even mean anything. It's the ük form. But other forms, gelir olurum, maybe in a very specific context could be used, but just forget about it. And it's always better to keep things simple. So we will mainly focus on the mIş past tense forms. M'iş oldum, m'iş olmuşum, m'iş olurum, m'iş oluyorum, m'iş olacağım, and then gelir oldum, and then geliyor olurum, or maybe geliyor olacağım. These are actually related. If you know the difference or the similarity between future tense and the aorist tense, like certain future versus uncertain future, you will know the similarity between these as well. And the final one, futures. Gelecek olacağım. This is easy because English has this as a separate tense. And gelecek oldum. We have seen a few alternatives for this. So it will be like another alternative to something we have studied before. Okay. So actually, let's move to our examples. Now it will make sense, Engin. When you see examples, you will understand how it works. So in the description part, it basically talks about the mIş and how it's used. Like mIş is used for hearsay, but it is in this form with olmak, it is used to indicate that an action has been completed. So we use this mIş, like verb, mIş olmak combination for a few various things. The second part of the conjugation is open. Open as in you can put olmak in any tense or mood. I only used basic tenses, but you can also use moods as in ability or necessitives or conditionals. But for now, we will go with basic ones. So we will have this form, mIş oldum. MIş oldum. And of course, M can change to N to mean you. Mış oldun, mış oldu, mış olduk. This is only just the default example. So what does it mean if I say gelmiş oldum or sen yapmış oldun, or in these examples spor yapmış oldum, numarasını almış oldum. With these examples, does anyone have any idea? It could be a bit difficult for beginners, but intermediate or advanced speakers. What does it feel like? What is the difference between saying spor yaptım and spor yapmış oldum? Because I could technically say spor yaptım, I did exercises. But if I say spor yapmış oldum, yes, I ended up doing sports. So ended up, we need to elaborate this meaning a bit more. There's the intention and reason here. There's the context. The context says, köpeklerden kaçmak için koştum. Koştum, I ran. For what? I ran in order to escape from the dogs. So dogs attacked me. I ran in order to escape from them. But with this opportunity, with this situation, I ended up doing sports. Doing sports was not my intention. I didn't plan to run. I didn't plan to do sports. But this is like, thinking about a different result out of a situation. I ended up running when it was not in my plans. So koşmuş oldum, yapmış oldum. Köpeklerden kaçmış oldum, but that means it's something completely different. Kaçmak, koşmuş, no, that's not correct. You only have one verb, and then mış, and then olmak, oldum. Köpeğin yemeği olmuş oldum. That is correct. Yes, olmuş oldum, that works. You can use olmuş with a main verb as well. I ended up being the food of dogs. Like, I was doing something else, they attacked me, they got me, they, ate me, beni yediler ve ben onların yemeği olmuş oldum. Okay, I have a different example. Numarasını almış oldum. Numarasını almış oldum. Numara, it's very similar. Number. Almak, to take. So I ended up taking her number. So what does the context say here? That girl asked me to send lesson notes to her. She asked me to send lesson notes to her. So I kinda had a crush on her, but I was shy to ask for her number. But when she asked me to send the lesson notes, she gave me her number. So eventually, as a result, I ended up taking her number. It happened in an indirect way. I didn't directly ask for it. I just happened to have it. I just happened to, like, luckily take her number. Numarasını almış oldum. Bakıyorum. Otobüsü kaçırdım ama olsun. Okay. Oh well. 5000 adımıma ulaşmış oldum. Yes, that is correct. It makes sense. You guys are getting the grasp of this. Unintended results. Yes. Türkçe öğrenmiş oldum. Yes. For example, I fell in love with a Turkish person. I didn't really intend to learn Turkish, but talking to my partner, I ended up learning Turkish. Türk birisine aşık oldum ve Türkçe öğrenmiş oldum. So it kind of has a thanks to that or as a result of that meaning. Sınavlara gitmeden geçmiş oldum. That works. Like, for some reason I passed the exams, but I didn't go. Gitmeden geçmiş oldum. Dükkanın önünden geçtim. Para harcamayı bitirmiş oldum. I'm not sure if that works. It is usually for a result from an not planned intention. Oh, in that case, parayı bitirmiş oldum. Dükkanın önünden geçtim. As an unintended reason, parayı bitirmiş oldum. I didn't want to spend all of the money, but when I walked past the shop, I couldn't resist it, and I ended up spending all of it. Parayı bitirmiş oldum. Okay, maybe I can also give you a different example. This is like, in English, there's a oh well saying. Like, something bad happens, then you go like, oh well, and for a positive outcome. Like how, this third fairy tale, like Pollyanna. So if something bad happens, if you want to use this as a positive outcome, you can use mış oldum. Yeah, you can use ama. Yapmak istemedim ama yapmış oldum. Gerçekten acıktım. 20 kilo vermiş oldum. Yes, you can say that. Or like, hiç param kalmadı. Yemek yiyemedim. That's a bad thing. I had no money left. I couldn't eat at all. But I can have a positive outcome from this. Olsun. Like, okay, that's okay. Kilo vermiş oldum. I ended up losing weight. From this bad thing, as a side result, I ended up with this. Okay? I hope you guys are getting the meaning behind this. Kilo kaybetmek. You can say kaybetmek, but it kind of sounds like a bad thing. Like, you want to, like a health problem. when you intentionally, drop weight, we say kilo vermek. There is some subtle implication behind it. Kilo kaybettim, yeah, that sounds like you got sick and you have been losing when you don't want to. But if you say kilo verdim, that means you want to lose it, you have been exercising, and as a result, like as a positive result, what you want, you vermek your kilos. Okay, so başka ne örnek verebiliriz? What else can we have here? So, hasta oldum, kilo vermiş oldum. Yes, I got sick, but as an unintended but kinda positive meaning, I lost weight. Lila, exactly. Vermek is to give, but in Turkish we give kilo. We give it away. We don't say lose. I mean, we could say lose as in kaybetmek, but I just explained the implication behind it. But mainly, casually, it's vermek to give and almak to take. Okay, so for example, you are trying to study with your computer, but the electricity goes off. No electricity. Elektrikler gitti. This is also how we say it. The electricity went away. Elektrikler gitti. Olsun. Kitap okumuş oldum. So with this opportunity, I had some free time to read books. So electricity got off, like went off, but okay, that's okay. I ended up reading books in the day, like during the day while I'm in the office. So my computer shut down because no electricity. So instead, I decided to read books. You can do anything with this. Like I'm trying to come up with different situations. Olsun burada oh well gibi. In English, when you say like oh well, that's okay, no need to worry. Or olsun could be used in positive responses. Like someone asks you that like they couldn't do their homework. Ödevimi yapamadım. And I will be like olsun, okay, sorun değil. As long as the unexpected result is positive. Good question. I will say no. You can say this for negative unexpected results. But mostly we use it for positive things. Mostly we use it for seeing the positive sides of bad things, but it can work the other way around. Okay, so I guess you guys got the meaning of this m'iş oldum. Next, we will have the opposite of this, or not the opposite of the meaning, but opposite of the tense here. Not the past tense, not do, but we have future tense. I think this will be very straightforward because in English you also have the future perfect tense. So like when you will have finished an action before another point in time in the future. Like as the examples say, 5 saat sonra ödevimi bitirmiş olacağım. Very straightforward. In like 5 hours later, I will have completed my homework. So this means I will have already finished my homework 5 hours later. Like if I draw a timeline, like here, this is for future, this is for past, this is for present. So this is 5 hours later, okay? I will just say 5 here. But I start my homework here and I finish it here. This timeline or this period of time is completed before it's 5 hours into the future. Before it's 5 hours, I will have it finished. I will be finishing değil. Of başka bir şey. Onu da anlatacağım. It's not I will be finishing. It's, as English says, I will have finished. If you are not familiar with this English tense, maybe it's still a bit confusing, but that's how they say it. I will have it done, yes. I will have it completed before it's 5 hours. A different example. O uyandığında ben gitmiş olacağım. O uyandığında ben gitmiş olacağım. So that means when he wakes up, I will have left. I will have gone. I will have been gone. Because I will go, I will already go, and then they will wake up later. Yeah, by the time something happens, I will have it done. It's pretty straightforward. For example, we could have some timestamps, but it's not that needed. But if, let's say, something will happen at 11 p.m., but you will complete something before 10 p.m. So you will say, saat 11 olduğunda, I could write it down here, saat 11 olduğunda ben, I don't know, oraya gelmiş olacağım. Like when it's 11 p.m., I will have come there. Like by the time it's 11 p.m., I will already be there. Gelmiş olacağım. It will actually help the flow of the lesson if you could try your examples. But it's okay if you have a blank mind right now, because this is already, something that takes too much thinking. I use more English than I do. Sometimes I translate some things to Turkish, but right now I'm always translating things for you to get to the meaning. I'm not expecting you to understand all of the suffixes here. We are not focusing on the sentences. We are focusing on the meanings. So, evrak nerede? If your boss says this, evrak nerede? Where is the document? 5 saat. That is correct. There's a problem with it, but it's kind of not related to this topic. The problem with it is some lack of prepositions or lack of noun case endings. You could say 5 saat içinde, within 5 hours, yapmış olacağım. Within 5 hours, I will have it completed. Bu ders bittikten sonra bir örnek vermiş olacağım. Okay, let's see. Umarım görürüz. Buraya geldiğinde ben akşam yemeğini bitirmiş olacağım. Buraya geldiğinde ben akşam yemeğini bitirmiş olacağım. So when you come here, I will have finished the dinner. So I will eat all of it before you come. So that's correct. Okay, so this is how mIş olacağım is used. Like this is kind of like future in the past or past in the future. I'm not really sure, but something will be completed by the time something else happens. Yeah, that bitirmiş olmak sounds like I will eat. I will, there will be no food left for you. Any more examples? Başka örnek var mı? We have a very long way to go. Maybe we could put this lesson in 2 parts if we can't finish all of the forms, because understanding the individual forms is better than rushing and trying to learn, trying to see everything in one lesson. So we will see how it goes. If we can finish this in one lesson, if not, next week we will continue. Okay, tamam, that's okay. I think we can move to the other form. With mIş, we are continuing. I can't pronounce this. We will move on to the other one with mIş. Mış oluyor. So this time, oluyor. This should be familiar. Oluyor. Continuous. So continuous tense is usually easy, but this time it's a bit trickier. Trickier. Not trickier, but trickier. For having two usages. The first meaning is something usually. The key word here is usually. I will highlight it with a orange color. Something usually being finished by a certain time. Or the second meaning is for hypothetical situations. What does that mean? Of course, I have these examples. So, ben bu otobüse hiç yetişemiyorum. Her zaman ben gelmeden önce gitmiş oluyor. Ben bu otobüse hiç yetişemiyorum. Her zaman ben gelmeden önce gitmiş oluyor. So, yetişemiyorum. Yetişmek is being able to catch up. But I can't catch up with this bus. I can't catch up with this bus. Her zaman. Every time. Gelmeden önce. Before I come. It leaves. Gitmiş oluyor. So this is the implication I am trying to deliver here. I could simply say, like, I could delete this and say gidiyor. Her zaman ben gelmeden önce gidiyor. I could say that simply. But why am I complicating this? Gitmiş oluyor. I want to emphasize that when I come, it is long gone. And that happens every time. It puts more emphasis that the action of the bus going is completed before I come. Ben bu otobüse yetişemiyorum. Her zaman gitmiş oluyor. Her zaman ben gelmeden önce gitmiş oluyor. Okay. You can try having examples. You don't have to write a long sentence. You can try something simple. That's a good question, Lila, but the emphasis is on the bus leaving, like it is long gone. Okay, Nemo's example is correct. With more examples, hopefully others will be able to make their own examples. So, genelde Cuma günkü dersten önce ödevimi göndermiş oluyorum. Generally, genelde, Cuma günkü dersten önce, before the lesson on Friday, ödevimi göndermiş oluyorum. I send my homework before the Friday's lesson, and usually I am able to send it like before it, and there's a really like a time space between them. I send it long before it starts. Okay, Megan, you can try. If the sentence doesn't work, I can explain the differences. I can draw a timeline again. So this, the beginning and end. This is the present. So something starts here, but before it starts, I do it here. There's a time between them. And this happens every time. So this is when I send my homework. This is when the lesson starts. Every day I send it, I have it complete before it starts. Okay, I hope that makes a bit more sense. So yes, that is correct. It is correct. Oh, I copied too much. Here. So Nemo her zaman dersler başlamadan önce voice chat'e girmiş oluyor. So Nemo enters voice chat every time before the lessons start. So that means he completes the process of entering before the lesson starts. I know the entering is not a long process, but still we are putting emphasis on the being completed. Like the process of something happening is complete before another action. Maybe we can use some timestamps to make this a bit more specific. For example, kocam işten gelmeden önce yemeği yapmış oluyorum. Kocam işten gelmeden önce yemeği yapmış oluyorum. Before my husband comes from work, I am always finished cooking the dinner. Akşam yemeğini yapmış oluyorum. So maybe he comes home at, I don't know, 8 p.m. and I'm done cooking at 6 p.m. I'm done 6 hours before he comes. Sorry, I'm done 2 hours before he comes. So that's the emphasis I'm trying to deliver. I complete the action, the process of cooking before he comes. Tartıştıktan sonra iyi bir dönüş bulmuş oluyorum. It kinda makes sense, but it's not about the time. It's more like something that ends up as a result, I guess. But it still makes sense. It still fits mış oluyorum. Oh wait, you meant comeback as in like a comeback, like a response? İyi bir... Okay, in that case, tartıştıktan sonra iyi bir geri dönüş is coming back, but we wouldn't say it in that context. We will say simply geri cevap vermek. Tartıştıktan sonra iyi bir cevap bulmuş oluyorum. But it should be before. Ah, wait, I think I missed that question. Let me scroll up. Can it also be like yapmış olamıyorum? Yes, it could be like that. You could conjugate these parts with other modifiers like negative. So that means you are not able to finish cooking before he comes. So like kocam işten gelmeden önce akşam yemeğini yapmış olamıyorum. I can't finish cooking before he comes. Ev arkadaşım uyanmadan önce bulaşıkları... I don't know why I went like this. Let me read it again. Ev arkadaşlarım uyanmadan önce bulaşıkları yıkamış oluyorum. That is correct. Yes. That's correct. And Lila, you don't need the gelmeden önce parts. It is only there to, make the context clear. We are only adding this for context. Derse katılmıyorum. Ondan önce uyumuş oluyorum. Correct. This is also correct.